Vienna is the city of Austria, and Duke Metternich was the Austrian Chancellor. So all the four countries, Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria, had done a meeting for treaty, and Austria was hosting that meeting because that meeting was organized in Vienna, that was situated in Austria country, and Duke Metternich was the Austrian Chancellor. So Austria was host, and Britain, Russia and Prussia were guest. So what was the purpose of Treaty of Vienna in 1815? The purpose was to solve the problems in the winning states by Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte conquered so many states or so many countries and established his own monarchy system. So Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria wanted to solve the problems which were created by Napoleon Bonaparte. That was the purpose, or that was the mission of the Treaty of Vienna in 1850. The Bourbon dynasty, which had been deposed during the French Revolution, was restored to power. In Treaty of Vienna, such type of decision was taken that Bourbon dynasty was restored to power in France. And France lost the territory it had annexed under Napoleon. Whatever territories France lost the territory it had annexed under Napoleon. Whatever territories had been annexed by Napoleon Bonaparte or had been captured by Napoleon Bonaparte, that territories were snatched by Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria from France, and that were distributed among different countries. A series of states were set up of the boundaries of France to prevent French expansion in future. Even the boundary line was determined for France, and it was expected that France would never try to expand its territory in future. Like Napoleon Bonaparte expanded the empire of France, expanded the area of France, having conquered the other countries or other territories. So Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria totally prohibited to France that in future they would never try to capture the area of other countries, and they would never try to capture other territories. A series of states were set up. Thus the Kingdom of Netherlands, which include Belgium, was set up in the north, and Genoa was added to Piedmont in the south. The area which were conquered by Napoleon Bonaparte, they were distributed among different countries by Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria. How they were divided? How the conquered area were divided? How were the conquered area by Napoleon Bonaparte divided? Listen carefully. The kingdom of the Netherlands, which included Belgium, was set up in north, and Genoa was added to Piedmont in the south. Prussia was given important new territories on its western frontiers, while Austria was given control of northern Italy. But the German Confederation of 39 states that had been set up by Napoleon was left untouched. In the east, Russia was given part of Poland, while Prussia was given a portion of Saxony. A part of Poland was given to Russia, and portion of Saxony was given to Prussia. And the Confederation of 39 states, the German-speaking region, were left untouched. The main intention was to restore the monarchies that had been overthrown by Napoleon and create a new conservative order in Europe. And in Treaty of Vienna, Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria restored the new monarchy system and removed those monarchy systems which were established by Napoleon Bonaparte. And Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria created a new conservative order in Europe. Conservative regimes set up in 1815 were autocratic. Conservative regimes set up in 1815 were autocratic. Autocratic means the king is the system in which the king is all in all, and all political powers, when all political powers are concentrated in monarch or in king, and when king or monarch becomes all in all, that is called autocratic. And king is, and in this system, the king or the monarch is totally independent to take any decision, and they don't take any advice from the citizen or from the people. This system is called autocratic. They did not tolerate criticism and dissent and sought to curb activities that questioned the legitimacy of autocratic government. Most of them imposed censorship laws to control what was said in newspapers, books, plays, and songs, and reflected the idea of liberty and freedom. Napoleon Bonaparte removed censorship, but in Treaty of Vienna, censorship was imposed once again. Most of the states where new monarch was set up, they imposed censorship once again. And in censorship, what is censorship? Censorship means to cut that part from any book or from any film or movie or from any newspaper which can create hindrance in the society, which are vulgar and which can create any hindrance in the society which can spread non-violence or vulgarity in the society, that part of newspaper or book or movie or cinema was cut off. So in censorship, a central board is organized. A censorship board is organized. In a censorship, a censor board is organized, and there become some members of this board of censorship, and they have the responsibility to read the books, to read the newspaper, and cut those parts from that newspaper or that book which are going to create hindrance in the society, or to cut that scene from the movie or cinema that is going to create non-violence or vulgarity or hindrance in the society. This is the work of censorship. So Napoleon Bonaparte removed censorship, but when Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo, and when through Treaty of Vienna the other state gained their other state, restored the new monarchy system. The other states were restored the new monarchy system. The new monarch imposed censorship once again, and reflected the idea of liberty and freedom, played a song and reflected the idea of liberty and freedom associated with the French Revolution. The memory of the French Revolution nonetheless continued to inspire liberals. One of the major issues taken up by the liberal nationalists who criticized the new conservative order was freedom of the press. And what was the purpose to impose censorship? The purpose of impose censorship that newspaper cannot spread the idea of liberty, cannot spread the idea of French Revolution. The memory of the French Revolution nonetheless continued to inspire liberals. The memory of French Revolution always inspires liberals. But the memory of French Revolution never inspires conservatives, because conservatives were in the favor of monarchy system. They didn't believe in constitutional monarchy system, and they didn't believe in republic government. One of the major issues taken up the liberal nationalists who criticized the new conservative order was freedom of the press. Freedom of the press was very necessary at that time, because press could publish the autocratic decisions taken by monarch or taken by the king. The revolutionary, this topic, look here. The revolutionary. During the years following 1815, the fear of repression drove many liberal nationalists underground. Secret societies sprang up in many European states to train revolutionary and spread their ideas. To be revolutionary at this time meant a commitment to oppose monarchical forms that had been established after the Vienna Congress and to fight for liberty and freedom. Most of these revolutionaries also saw the creation of nation states as necessary part of this struggle for freedom. When Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in 1815 in the Battle of Waterloo, the liberal nationalists became underground. Because conservative monarchy systems were restored in different states. That's why liberal nationalists became underground, because they could not in the condition to face conservatives. They formed or they organized secret societies, and they wanted freedom and liberty. They wanted to spread their ideas. They wanted a republic government. They wanted freedom and liberty. But conservatives were against of liberal nationalists. That's why liberal nationalists became underground. And liberal nationalists also opposed monarchical forms that had been established after the Vienna Congress. They wanted to do fight for liberty and freedom. And most of the liberal nationalists or revolutionary wanted to create one nation state. They wanted nationalism. And that was a necessary part of their struggle for freedom. One such individual was the Italian revolutionary Giuseppe Mazzini, born in Genoa in 1807. He became a member of the secret society of the Carbonari. Have you ever heard the name of Giuseppe Mazzini? No. Giuseppe Mazzini was born in 1807 in Geneva. He was an Italian revolutionary. He became a member of the secret society of the Carbonari. As a young man of 24, he was sent into exile in 1831 for attempting revolution in Liguria. Actually, Giuseppe Mazzini was a revolutionary when he had attempted for revolution in Liguria. He was exiled in 1831. He subsequently founded two more underground societies. After that, Giuseppe Mazzini formed two different secret societies. Giuseppe Mazzini formed or organized two different secret societies for doing revolution. First, Young Italy in Marseille, and second, Young Europe in Bern, whose members were like-minded young men from Poland, France, Italy, and the German states. In the secret society, like Young Italy or Young Europe, the young men from Poland, France, Italy, and German states, they joined that secret society, which were made by Giuseppe Mazzini for doing revolution. Mazzini believed that God has intended nations to be the natural units of mankind. According to thinking of Giuseppe Mazzini, God had intended nations to be the natural units of mankind. Actually, nation is the natural unit of mankind, in the point of view of Giuseppe Mazzini. So Italy could not continue to be a patchwork of small states and kingdoms. It had to be forged into a single unified republic within a wider alliance of nations. This unification alone could be the basis of Italian liberty. Following his model, secret societies were set up in Germany. During the time of Giuseppe Mazzini, Italy was divided in different territories, different states. Giuseppe Mazzini wanted to unite all territories and wanted to create one nation state. He wanted to bring nationalization. But that was not an easy task. Following, Giuseppe Mazzini wanted the unification of Italy. He wanted to unite all territories and create one nation state. But that was not an easy task. Following his model, secret societies were set up in Germany, France, Switzerland, and Poland. When Giuseppe Mazzini formed a secret society or a revolutionary society for doing revolution in different states, different countries, then on the basis of Germany, on the basis of Giuseppe Mazzini, in other countries, revolutionaries also formed different type of secret society or revolutionary societies. In Germany, France, Switzerland, and Poland, different types of secret societies were organized or formed. Mazzini's relentless opposition to monarchy and his vision of democratic republics frightened the conservatives. Metternich described him as the most dangerous enemy of our social order. Actually, Giuseppe Mazzini was against monarchy system. That's why, in the point of view of monarchs of Europe, Giuseppe Mazzini was the most dangerous enemy. The age of revolution 1830-1848. This is the new topic. The age of revolution 1813-1848. This is the topic. Look here. The age of revolution